have any questions and you don't feel comfortable asking in English, have no issues. I don't speak perfect Spanish, but if you be gentle with me, that should be okay. So I'm going to start the presentation. I will ask people to mute their microphones, and if you have any questions, just type it in the chat or save it for later when we finish. Okay, so let's start. And hopefully this will work. Okay, so the University of Aberdeen was founded in 1495. It means that it's over 500 years old. And we had really good achievements during those 5 centuries, including relating to malaria, the MRI scanner, and others. So if you have any questions, or you can just take a detailed look at the presentation. I'm not going to bore you and go over all of them, but as you can imagine, a lot happens in a university over 5 centuries. So being an ancient university in UK means our buildings look like fairy tale castles, or a little bit of Harry Potter theme. We are ranked 34th in the UK, and we have been having a very good performance, so much that we rose from 17 places from last year. And trust me when I say competition in UK between universities is quite fierce. And to just so you have an idea, Scotland has some of the oldest universities and some of the best universities. So when you think about UK, when you think about Scotland, and when you think about Aberdeen, you can rest assured that it's quality education. When we say we're ancient, it doesn't mean there's only Scottish people attending our degrees. So we're one of the most international universities in the UK, and I like to think I have something to do with it. So we have about 5,000 students that are from outside the UK and from around 130 different countries. So from Latin America, Mexico is quite predominant, but also Brazil, Bolivia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Honduras, Chile. I'm not sure, I think we have an academic from Uruguay, and hopefully we'll get more students both from Uruguay and Paraguay. We're very well known for our medical degrees and also our energy related degrees, but we offer over 130 different majors. One of the things I get asked a lot is, what is Aberdeen like as a city? What is like to live in Aberdeen coming from Latin America? And from what I can say, just to start and give you some peace of mind, Aberdeen is considered the safest university city in UK, and it has been in that position for the last few years. One example of that is, for instance, when there's a car crash somewhere in the city, it makes the front page of the newspaper. So that's how safe the university is and the city. So Aberdeen is a small city. We are about 220,000 inhabitants. Because of the oil industry, 1 in 6 is from outside the UK. So another thing I get asked a lot when I'm in Latin America, it's about food. As Latinos, we have a very strong connection with our food. Our food is comfort. and we can't imagine our lives without having our favorite foods. So rest assured that in Aberdeen there's several kind of Latino, Mexican, Tex-Mex restaurants. For instance, we have a restaurant owned by 2 people from Venezuela, and they offer dishes from across the Latin America. For instance, they have arepas, which is great because a lot of people like it. We're a very young city. We have 2 universities and 1 college. We're not as cold as people might think. I haven't lost a student to the cold yet, and walking is quite the preferred way of getting to places. I know sometimes this can be seen strange, but everything distance 30 minutes practically takes you anywhere in Aberdeen. And just give an idea, the beach is a 15-minute walk from campus. It's not I should clarify this, although there's people who go swimming at the beach and it's great for surfing and stand-up paddling, it's not tropical beach. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of campus. We're located in an area of Aberdeen called Old Aberdeen, and it's about 20 minutes walk from the city center where all the shops and restaurants are. We have 2 campuses, the Old Aberdeen campus and the medical campus, which is within the main hospital in the city. So anyone who wants to study medical related degrees, you'll be studying within a hospital environment. We have a mixture of old buildings and new buildings. Our library is very modern and it has won some awards, including being included in the 20 most spellbinding buildings. We have top-graded sports facilities, an Olympic-sized swimming pool, a diving pool, indoor football fields, outdoor football fields. So if you like football, you'll be okay to play either winter or spring. And we have several museums also on campus. Is this clear, or would you like me to go slower? Just let me know. We have about 14 schools. So when I say we cover a lot of subjects, I am not kidding. There's a couple of subjects we don't cover, like architecture, fine arts, and veterinary science. So this is the main street on campus. And as you can see, a lot of our students are walking. So walking, taking the bus, or cycling to campus is normally the most popular means of transportation. And if I recall correctly, I spend a lot of time in traffic when I'm in Latin America. I have some, I remember falling asleep in a taxi in Bogota because we were trapped in the traffic. So that doesn't happen in Aberdeen. So it means you can sleep later, you don't have to get up very early in the morning, you have more time for your friends, for your hobbies, and to study. There is sun in Aberdeen, and you always know when it's a sunny day because everybody is outside. So when you live in countries like Latin America, you take sunny days for granted and you probably don't appreciate them. So here you will appreciate them a lot more. So this is our library. As I said, our campus is a mixture of modern buildings and ancient buildings. The library is one of the most popular spots for our students. 7 floors. During exam time is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this is another building on campus called New Kings, although it's 17th century, so new is a relatively misleading term. And I'm going to cover now what we offer in terms of programs. So we're very known for our engineering degrees, and especially the ones who are related to the energy area, but we also have mechanical, electrical, project management, chemical. So, but because we are located in the North Sea, we have more than 40 years of experience working with the industry to provide a safer and more efficient way to work with energy. So obviously I'm not going to talk in detail about the programs. All the information is on our website. The Inova consultants can help you with the details as well, and you can ask me some questions at the end. So that's the School of Engineering programs. We also have the Aberdeen Institute of Energy. As I said, we work very closely with the industry. Aberdeen is classified as the European energy, the energy capital of Europe. So all the main industries are located here, and we work very closely with them. And that means you as a student can have access to some of the largest companies in the world related to the energy area. We also offer programs in geology, and here are some examples of the type of companies we work with. Our natural and computing science, for instance, the artificial intelligence and chemistry is also very well ranked. We cover a lot of areas in the social science. So, for instance, strategic studies, energy security, but also, post-conflict, violence and gender, sociology, anthropology. We actually specialize in archaeology of the North due to our location in the North Sea. So if you're interested in that area, Aberdeen is the place to be. We have been teaching law for over 500 years, and some of our academics are considered experts in the field of energy law, also human rights and commercial law. One of our academics, for instance, in the area of intellectual property, participated in, did a consultancy article on a dispute between Primark and Rihanna. So just to give you an idea of the kind of involvement we have in the area. We also have the business school. So if you're interested in the management side of energy, but also accountants and finance and real estate, the business school has the programs and the experts for you. Besides law, we've been teaching medicine for over 500 years as well. So Aberdeen had the first chair in medicine in the English-speaking world. And we have a wealth of master's degrees in the area. So these are some of them, but we also do a lot of research. We have one of the largest medical campus in Europe. And we have some of the institutes for research that I'm going to just touch slightly, if this works. sorry. Oh, there we are. So Aberdeen has received a lot of funding to do research in cardiovascular and diabetes and the relationship between the obesity and diabetes and cancer as well. So we have the Rowett Institute, which is a top institute in the area of human nutrition. We have been teaching human nutrition for over 100 years. I don't know if you knew, but the MRI scanner was developed in Aberdeen. So we're just about to launch the latest version, but our students get to play with the earlier versions of the MRI scanner. And the first one is in the museum on campus. So here you can find the entry requirements. They're not set in stone. So we can look at each application on an individual level. So don't worry if you don't meet the requirements, if it's slightly below, because we can see if your scores are good in the key subjects, and we are confident in our teaching skills that we can bring you up to speed with the rest of the class. This is also the entry requirements for English. We accept IELTS, TOEFL, Pearson, and Cambridge. Okay, so I'm very happy to let you know that Aberdeen launched the Aberdeen Global Scholarships, and it means if you don't have a sponsor or a scholarship, you're paying for your tuition fees, we'll give you an automatic discount of £2,000. It's not much, but it's helpful, and you can put that money into traveling a little bit within Europe while you're here. You don't need to apply to it. And if you're applying for law, there is this scholarship, so more information on our website, but it's based in merit and financial needs. So there are a couple of requirements you need to meet to be able to receive this scholarship. But there are scholarships in your home countries. So Chevening is available to all. Chevening is a scholarship from the British government. It covers the whole tuition fees plus living costs, with the exception of the MBA. The MBA, they set a limit for the amount of scholarship, the cost they're willing to cover, but for every other program, they will cover tuition fee. So this is a very prestigious scholarship. It gives you access to a network of people around the world that have been awarded the scholarship. It does have an application process that starts really early. So for this year is closed for admission in 2020, but for 2021, it should open in August. So if you are in Mexico, you have FUNED, CONACYT, Becas MOB, and FIDER, which is an educational loan. If you're in Bolivia, you have SEMBECAS. If you are in Paraguay, you have BECAL, and if you are in Uruguay, you have ANI. I hope I said that right. So scholarships are, I'm sure, you know, a lot of people apply. A lot of people don't put a lot of effort in the applications. So imagine what it is like to have a master's degree paid or partially paid by your scholarship. So my advice is always make sure you take the time to submit your application. make the time to do a very good case for you, why you should receive it, why you're gonna make an impact in your country if you're funded. Don't apply thinking, 20 minutes and it's done. Do take the time, because the effort you put in the application can bring you a huge reward. Okay, so now for the fun part, our sports facilities. This is our diving pool. We have Olympic standard swimming pool and diving pool. And as I said, we have the indoor football fields, we have the gymnasium. We have about 50 sports societies on campus. So things that, different types of sports you can do. Everybody can join in. You don't have to be an athlete. It's mostly for fun and socializing and just to keep, fit. It's located 2 minutes walk from our main campus. So imagine I normally go to the gym on my lunch break. So 5 minutes after I leave my office, I'm at the gym. Student accommodation. We offer single occupancy rooms, so you don't have to share, but depending on the option you choose, you might have to share a bathroom and the kitchen or just the kitchen. Some examples, some photos taken out of our accommodation. So there's different types. There's a lot of options you can choose from. There's also, I mentioned the sports societies and clubs, but there's a lot of different societies on campus, just about hobbies, socializing, meeting people. You have to, being a university with so many international students, we have a lot of people that it will be in the same situation as you, being in a new country, trying to make friends, trying to do new things. So this is a photo of our international center. They do things here like, let me say, Day of the Dead celebrations. This was for Thanksgiving. They do also language exchange. There's lots of activities you can do here. So we do try to integrate our students and ensure that you feel part of the Aberdeen family. So you also have the student association, the volunteering you can do. You can be part of you can run for the student association. So don't worry that you'll be spending. There will be a lot of time you will be spending studying, but there's also time for fun. And so this is now the part of the city. So Aberdeen is an ancient city, but it's also very modern. So it's a bit of a contrast. Again, it's small and safe. Everything is within walking distance. So this is a photo of our main shopping center. And this is our map. So we have an international airport in Aberdeen. It's easy to travel within Europe. So if you're coming from Latin America, I normally travel through Amsterdam. I find Amsterdam airport a really easy airport to navigate. I never missed a connection flight in Amsterdam. And then it's an hour and a half from Amsterdam to Aberdeen. I have lost connection flights in Paris. I've lost connection flights in Heathrow. So I try to avoid them as much as I can. Once you're in Aberdeen or in Scotland, it's really easy to travel within Europe. So we're always just a short flight away from main Europe and some really interesting countries. And if you make friends, with Greeks, Italians, Spanish, Portuguese. You can always go and visit them on the school breaks. Some of photos of the city. As I said, it's a very small, clean, not a densely populated city. This photo here, I hope you can see the arrow, is our main street. This is one of the rivers. Our city council. This used to be a building that used to be part of the university, is now the local authority. This is a photo of our beach, and you can see dolphins and seals in our beach. So it's really funny when you think they've been drilling oil in the North Sea for over 40 years. It's still a very clean coast. So I mentioned the international airport. I mentioned how it is international field due to the oil industry. I didn't mention all the castles that you can visit around Aberdeen, including Balmoral, which is where the Queen summers during the summer. And the outdoor activities you can do, there's ski resorts, there's hiking. I know one of the Ecuadorian students is always setting up hiking trips. But if you like whiskey distilleries, if you like history like me, I visit a lot of castles. There's also a lot of festivals. So cultural, it's a very rich city as well. And some more photos of the surrounding city. So this picture here is a town called Stonehaven. It's a 20-minute distance from Aberdeen on a train. This is Valmedi. Is near here we have a seal colony, so you can go and see seals really, really close. This is a picture of a street in Aberdeen called Belmont, is where all the bars are normally located, also very popular for restaurants. Here again is the Notter Castle, one of my favorite castles. Okay, that's me. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. I hope I didn't bore you too much with details. And I am now ready to answer your questions. Do you have any questions?
Sandra, there's one question already on the chat.
Yes.
And it says,
oh, I can't see it.
It's Stephanie asking, I would like to know if you have any graduate degrees for health economics.
I know we had in the past, but I'm not sure I have it now. I can take a look and see. We have one degree that pops to mind that is bioinformatics, biobusiness. So if you want to send me an email, my email address is here, and I can look out that information for you. You can tell me which exactly is what you're intending to do or study, and I'll check with the school which is the best program for you. Is that okay?
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you offer an international foundation year? Because I couldn't find it in the page.
We do offer an international foundation year. For most countries in Latin America, is not necessary, but if you don't have, you're completely changing areas of study, that might be useful for you. So I didn't mention in my presentation, but if you go on our website and you look for foundation, and we do have a pre-master's as well, We work with study group. They have a school in our campus. So you'll find information on our website, but if you can't, again, just send me an email and I'll get back to you with that information.
Okay, thank you.
Can you see the other question,
I see
Sandra?
here a question. Yes, about business school masters. So business school masters, depending on the program, they will have different costs. So the MBA in energy management, for instance, is £25,000. If you look at accountants and finance, they will be cheaper. So it depends. So all the costs are published in our website. So depending again on the program you're interested, you'll find the cost there. Okay, yes, you can work while you're studying. As an international student, you'll come with a tier 4 visa, and that visa allows you to work up to 20 hours a week. So bear in mind that a postgraduate degree in 1 year is quite intense, but we have a lot of students that manage to fit their work schedule with their school schedule. So if you're very organized, I would say you can do a part-time job. Okay, so that was data science. We offer several programs. I'll try and go back to the presentation where I mentioned that. And you can see, oops, might take a while. And the level of English was also okay. We do have data management. Sorry, it's not mentioned here. I apologize. As for
I have a question.
yes.
I want to know more about how can I get a scholarship because I didn't understand.
So where are you from?
I'm from Bolivia.
So Bolivia, you can either apply to a Achieving Scholarship or to a Sem Becas.
Becas.
Sem Becas is the program from the Bolivian government for scholarships abroad.
Thank you very much.
Inova can help you with that. They work really closely with the Bolivian government, so they will know more than I do.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, oh, this is a very interesting question. Aberdeen actually has an amazing dance society, and we cover very different styles of dancing. So everything from your Latin dancing, so bachata, salsa, tango, to ballet, street, hip hop, Vogue, Bhangra, which is the Indian dance, Irish dance. So every year they put up a show showcasing their different styles, and it always sells out. So if you look on YouTube about our University of Aberdeen Dance Society, you can see their shows. And I'm not sure what you mean about opportunities. Do you mean jobs? So there was a big shift in the British government. So now they're saying they will allow graduate students to stay and work in UK for 2 years. That hasn't been set in stone, so I can't give you more information at this time, but it's a very positive step. As it is the market now, I had several students that stayed here and found jobs. I know a lot of students also working in Holland, but a lot of people also went back to Latin America to work. So when you have a degree from a university that is recognized worldwide as Aberdeen, you can find a job basically anywhere. It's easy to find a part-time job in Aberdeen. Yes, it is. There's several jobs available. A lot of places are used to students working. It might not be what you want to do. So the most popular ones are working in stores, restaurants, and bars. You can work at the university as well. We hire some of our students to do some jobs. It depends on what is available at the time. So it's up to you to go and find it. We post job adverts on our website, and the Student Association also publishes jobs. Okay, next one, jobs, internships, field trips. That's a very kind of, I'm not sure what you want to know. I've already spoken about part-time jobs. Internships is possible. It will have to be during your dissertation or after you graduate, because I'm not sure you can do an internship on a master's degree if it's not included in your program. Field trips are depending on the program as well. For instance, geology definitely has a lot of field trips. Engineering, a lot of field trips depending on the program. Other programs, I'm not so sure there's field trips, but for instance, business, you have Industry Week, where we invite people from the companies based in Aberdeen to come to the school and meet our students. Oh, that's a very interesting question. So coronavirus. So just to give you an idea, I've been working from home. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks. I know Latin America is a bit behind us, so we were behind China. You guys are behind us. It will most likely affect the start dates in September. We're trying our best not to let it impact. So as far as I'm aware, we're just delaying it for about 2 weeks, but a lot of our programs have January starts as well. So if for some reason students can't manage to come in September, January is also a very good alternative. Okay. We'll get back to you. Debbie, if you could go back to Jesus, is that okay?
Hi, Sandra. Jesus' question. Yes, I'll read it and reply. Ire is telling me that her questions are not coming up, so I just asked for her.
Okay, so is this a master's degree level she's asking?
Ire, could you please tell us? And
Hi, can you
he's
hear
sending
me?
another message. Are those the only scholarship options provided by the school? Do you have work placement after the program? Do you have joint programs like business at computer? What other student activities you have? Ire, could you tell us if you're talking about a master's or an undergraduate degree, please? A master's degree.
So, okay, our master's degrees, because again, there are in 1 year, 12 months, they're very set on what you can do. But some programs have optional credits. So you can go and look on our website and see exactly what you're going to study. So business will have something related to computer science. And the good thing about Aberdeen is that we work very closely between the schools. But all our, the subjects you're going to study are named in our website. I hope it helps. So placements, if it's included in the degree, they're mentioned in the website. What was the other question, Deborah?
Okay, let me read that again. So
Can you read me?
placement, joint programs, any other student activities that were not mentioned in the presentation? Are there any?
Well, there's a lot of volunteering, but it's mainly around the student association and the societies. For instance, we have a Mexican society, but there's also a whiskey society, there's a football. So one fun fact is 2 years ago, we had so many students from Mexico that Mexico was the only country that could put together a football team. So normally the matches would be Mexico against the world because the other nationalities didn't have enough players. So, and there's also, you can also do things outside the university. It's very open. But you must have the initiative to go and look. What bachelor degrees could I apply to? Well, you can apply to any bachelor degree as long as you meet the entry requirements. So it's more like, what would you like to study? If that answers your question. We cover around 400 bachelor degrees. So you have a lot to choose from.
Sandra, there is another question from Mauricio Espinosa. He wants to study medicine. So he wants to know the requirements, and he's from Bolivia. Mauricio, is this an undergraduate program? Could you please confirm?
Yes.
Okay, Mauricio. Medicine in Aberdeen is quite a demanding program. We've been teaching medicine for over 500 years. So we're ranked as one of the top medical universities in UK. And just to make you aware that we received a lot more applications than we can possibly accept. So, for instance, we don't accept applications from foundation programs. So are you studying in an international school?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
So I'm really sorry, but at this time we wouldn't be able to accept an application. But we do offer a lot of other programs in the medical science area that you could apply to. But unfortunately, because the medical school can be very picky, they're in a very comfortable position, they're sometimes very demanding on the entry requirements. So that's one of the things. They don't accept applications from a foundation year. So if you're doing the Bolivian high school system, it doesn't allow you to apply directly. What is the level of English?
Mine is very I don't know. It's very basic. Or I don't know. It's a problem.
You can ask me in Spanish if you want.
Ah, sí, pero que mi inglés es bastante básico y eso es realmente un problema para mí.
Sí, el nivel de inglés normalmente es un problema en algunos países de Latinoamérica. Por ejemplo, ¿dónde eres?
De Bolivia.
Sí, Bolivia, por ejemplo, no sé si entre tanto cambió, pero hace 2 años no había donde tomar un test de IELTS. Entonces, los estudiantes que vinieron a Aberdeen, uno de ellos se fue a Perú tomar el test. Sí, mira, no te voy a mentir. Tienes que tener un buen nivel de inglés para venir. Y esto es en tu interés, porque tú no quieres venir y no entender una clase. Mira todo el dinero que vas a desperdiciar. Entonces, si tu inglés, si es eso que quieres hacer, venir al Reino Unido para estudiar, pues vas a tener que poner algún tiempo y esfuerzo en mejorar tu nivel de inglés.
Sí, está muy bien. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias por la información.
Nada.
Bye.
Miren, yo no quiero, a veces hay universidades que hacen cosas distintas, pero aquí nosotros no tenemos interés en admitir estudiantes que sabemos que no van a aprobar. Entonces, cuando los aceptamos es porque estamos confiantes que ustedes tienen los requisitos que buscamos. Y si no, pues no los aceptamos.
Bueno, entiendo. Muchas gracias por la información. Muchas gracias.
Gracias. ¿Alguna cuestión más?
No, ninguna. Muchas gracias. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
I have a question.
Yes.
Deadlines for submitting applications for LLM in oil and gas law for starting January 2021.
Okay, so we accept applications up to a year before. So if you want, you can submit an application now. It doesn't cost anything to apply. Inova can support you in your application. We normally just need like a translation to English of your documents. And if you don't have the English test, you will have to submit it sometime later in the process.
Okay, my application is so just
Okay.
want to know if I'm already late for submitting it.
For next year, definitely not. For this year, we accept applications normally up to the 30th of June.
Okay.
But if we try as much as we can to help our students, our applicants. So it's just that to avoid stress and last minute hiccups, we advise to do this with a lot of time because you have to go through the visa process and that can be tricky as well. So please don't leave it for the last minute.
Super, thank you very much.
I have a question. Excuse me.
Yes.
If I graduate this year and I want to get a beca for the next year, can I do that?
I think so. Which country are you from?
I'm from Bolivia. This year I graduate.
Okay. I know Debbie, maybe you can answer this question about deadlines to apply to same becas. Do we know about next year?
At the moment, we don't know about
Excuse me?
next year. Ok, te lo digo en español. Al momento con el cambio de gobierno que está llevándose a cabo allá en Bolivia, no sabemos el año que entra cómo va a funcionar el programa de 100 becas del Ministerio de Educación, pero usualmente publican su convocatoria un año antes de la fecha en la que te quieres ir. Entonces, si te quieres ir este año, ya pasó la convocatoria, tienes que estar pendiente más o menos por el próximo verano, este verano más bien, para que salga la nueva convocatoria para irte en septiembre del 2021. Pero hasta ahorita no hay confirmación porque hay muchos cambios ahorita en el gobierno.
Exactamente. Una preguntita más. Si es que después de que me gradúo, ¿todavía puedo adquirir alguna beca o scholarship? Perdón.
Después de que te gradúas, ¿de qué? Perdón.
Del colegio, después de que saliera del colegio y digamos que pasa un año, aún soy aceptable, por así decirlo.
Claro, claro, sin problema.
Muchísimas gracias, muchísimas gracias.
No, ¿de qué? De hecho, les voy a poner en el chat mi correo electrónico. Por cualquier duda que puedan tener, se pueden comunicar conmigo. Y Sandra, hay otra pregunta de parte de Ire. She's asking if my English certificate will expire soon, but I am not able to update it because of the coronavirus lockdown. Can she still use the certificate she has now? Do you think that will be accepted?
We're being, obviously, with this situation, we're having to be a lot more flexible. We're very aware that English centers are closed. I think TOEFL, for instance, they're launching their online tests. So my advice would be submit what you have, and our admissions team will look it over. It might be the case, not for the university, but for the visa, that you might need an updated one, but we'll let you know.
There's another question from Luciana. I'm really interested in psychology, but I would also want to know if there is a music or arts bachelor degree. And another question, I would like to know if I have to just have a good base of English or if I have to get a diploma that proves my level.
I'm going to start by the last question. You definitely need to present evidence of your English proficiency, and that is done through a test. So I mentioned in the presentation the tests we accept: IELTS, academic, the TOEFL, we accept Pearson and Cambridge. We have a music school in Aberdeen. So we do have master's and undergraduate degree. And what was the other question?
That she's really interested in psychology. But also
okay, so we do have a great school of psychology. We have clinical psychology. We have psychology in the social science area. We are approved by the British Psychological Society. So I'm happy to put you in touch with one academic from the psychology school, because they are the best to tell you
Okay, now that you are on that slide, I see another question about the level of English that is required to apply to the university. So you can see there in the slide that you can take the IELTS academic, or you can also take TOEFL IBT. And you can see the scores that are required. These may change from program to program, depending on the level of English you will need. But we can check with you which program you're applying to and the level of English that the university is asking for. ¿Hay alguna otra pregunta?
Sí, yo tengo una, por favor. Mi nombre es Jesús Saucedo.
Dime.
¿Aló, aló? ¿Me escuchan?
Sí.
Perfecto. Sí, es que mi señal está muy mal donde me encuentro. Yo estoy en Bolivia. Y mi pregunta era por lo siguiente. Yo le mandé un mensaje en inglés. Y bueno, primero, mi nivel de inglés es bajo, es regular. En algunas cosas que escribo bien, puedo escuchar y entender, pero el problema está lleno de hablar. Necesito un poco de speaking, así que estoy tomando algunos cursos. Y bueno, supongo que me va a tomar un año más poder alcanzar por lo menos el nivel B2. Mi pregunta era la siguiente: ¿qué nivel se necesita para poder ingresar ya sea una carrera de licenciatura, un bachelor degree, o una maestría, o en su defecto un doctorado? Es que yo soy ingeniero agrimensor, estoy cursando una maestría en petrofísica actualmente en Santa Cruz, ¿sí? Y bueno, como que me falta un poco más para acabarla, pero debido a la situación en la que estamos, entonces no me quisiera arriesgar a tomar la opción de decidirme por un doctorado en su universidad, porque me tomaría mucho tiempo aquí quizás terminar el cursado. Ahora, yo quisiera saber qué nivel es el que piden y si es posible autofinanciarse. ¿Hasta qué punto usted creería que es recomendable autofinanciarse? Porque la educación en Inglaterra es muy costosa, lo sé.
El nivel de inglés necesita ser muy bueno. Mira, vas a estar en una clase con gente de todo el mundo que viene para aprender con los mejores. Entonces, no se puede parar una clase con, imagínate, 30 personas porque alguien no entiende el inglés.
Perdón. Ok.
Y mismo para ti,
Ya.
tú no quieres
Entonces,
estar en una situación donde además de tener que estudiar la materia, no tienes más dificultades con el inglés. Entonces, mejorar mucho tu inglés para que tengas la mejor experiencia en estudiar con nosotros.
Ya. Por ahí va mi pregunta. ¿Qué tipo de examen es el que se necesita para poder ingresar allá de inglés?
Por ejemplo, IELTS o TOEFL.
Okay. ¿Y cuánto es la calificación?
Para maestría 6.5 en IELTS o TOEFL a 90, pero también tienes los puntajes individuales en cada, ¿cómo se dice?
Speaking, learning,
Sí.
no sé, reading, writing, ¿sí?
Sí, por ejemplo, las más importantes son writing and reading.
Writing. Ok.
Vas a tener que
Es
hacer
más
bastante
importante.
reportes.
Ahora,
¿Sí?
sí. Ya. Ahora, mi pregunta, ¿cuánto cuesta? ¿Cuánto cuesta estudiar allá? Una maestría, por ejemplo, en ciencias.
Depende mucho de la maestría, pero van desde 19.000 libras hasta la más cara, que creo que es 37.000 libras.
Alto, ¿eh?
Sí, pero mira, no, hay que ver esto no como un costo, pero como un investimiento en tu futuro. Y por eso es que yo refuerzo la idea que no vale la pena venir con un nivel de inglés bajo, porque no van a tener todo lo que les podemos enseñar.
Ah, entendí. Ahora, si yo tuviera que optar por un grado, o sea, por un bachelor degree, ¿sí? Yo tengo 27 años, ¿sí? Y cuento con una ingeniería en agrimensura o ingeniería geodésica, que es la que allá hay, ¿sí? Geodetic
Sí,
Engineer.
si tienes una
Entonces,
licenciatura de Bolivia, no veo por qué, a no ser que quieras cambiar de área, porque ibas a hacer una otra licenciatura. Nosotros aceptamos las calificaciones de Bolivia.
no importa si mi PP, por ejemplo, mi puntaje de toda la carrera es de 71 puntos de 100, no es un impedimento para poder ingresar a sus...
Sí, Bolivia tiene las universidades son muy distintas. Por ejemplo, nosotros sabemos que algunas universidades son más exigentes que otras. Una cosa que pedimos,
Sí.
en caso de duda, es tú en qué lugar quedaste en tu clase.
Ya, yo quedé como tercero de toda la carrera.
Entonces ahí no creo que sería problema.
Sí, salí de la universidad estatal, ¿no? Salí de la Universidad Autónoma Gabriel René Moreno, de una facultad politécnica. Y
Si nosotros tenemos
eso,
información,
entonces, sí,
sí, pero
necesitaría mis planes de estudio.
sí, hoja de notas, diploma, todo.
Ya, disculpe, eso quería preguntar también. Pasa de que yo tengo legalizada casi toda esa información, ¿sí? Pero la tengo en español. Yo quería hacer traducir toda toda la información que tengo, que son los programas analíticos, certificado de estudios o récord académico, ¿sí? Planes de estudios, malla curricular, etcétera. Los quería hacer traducir al inglés aquí en Bolivia.
Solo
Sí.
necesitamos el diploma y la hoja de notas, y la traducción tiene que ser por un traductor oficial.
Eso quería preguntar. Pasa de que yo estaba viéndolo esto con una profesora de inglés nativa, ¿sí? Y por ejemplo, en el Centro Boliviano Americano, que es el que funciona aquí en Santa Cruz, existe una lista de traductores, ¿sí? Pero estos traductores, o sea, ahí los mencionan como que ellos están autorizados a hacer la traducción, pero que ningún traductor al final aquí en Bolivia vendría a ser oficial.
Cuando
Entonces,
digo oficial, es un traductor profesional. No
ya,
necesitamos apostillar,
ya.
pero tiene que ser un traductor oficial. Por ejemplo, tú no lo podías hacer. Eso era
No.
lo que quería
Ya,
clarificar.
perfecto. Sí,
Okay.
porque
Tengo una otra cuestión aquí. Sí, tenemos, yes, we
sí.
have a bachelor degree in civil engineering. And where are you from? It will depend You can check the entry requirements for a bachelor degree in our website as well.
Okay. Civil engineer is similar. It's very similar. That's mine.
Sorry, this wasn't. Are you? Can I ask your name?
Sandra, that was Jesus. He has very specific questions. If maybe I should talk to him separately, so I can send him
Yes.
The information
Please,
he's looking for. I will write to him. Yes, so you can keep on with
Thank
the other
you.
questions.
Hi, Patricia. Debbie already answered your questions. If I know any website, we do have a program in our university that if you apply and you are accepted, you can practice English with some of our students. So we have volunteers. Some of our current students volunteer to help you practice your English, and we do it online. So that's a way you can do it. And once you're here, you have to realize immersion will improve your English a lot, because you will be speaking English all the time. You know, we'll be eating English, sleeping in English, so that helps as well. We also have pre-sessional courses. So if you want, you can come earlier and do a 5-week course in our language center. But for instance, in our international center, we do language exchange. So imagine we have a student that, a Scottish student who wants to practice their Spanish, and you want to practice your English. So you'll meet and you'll do, you know, half an hour in Spanish, half an hour in English.
Hello, Sandra.
Hello?
Hello, Sandra.
Yes.
My name is Bismarck. I'm from Bolivia.
Hello.
I studied electronic engineering here, but I didn't saw some careers to master degree related to telecommunication in your university. It's right?
Yes, we don't have a master's degree in telecommunications. I think the closest we'll have is computer science and artificial intelligence. So if you're looking for specifically, you know, fiber optics, radio, I'm not sure we're the right university for you.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Sandra.
Yes.
Yeah, hello. My name is Andres Angulo. I'm from Bolivia, and I wanted to ask.
Sorry, can you speak louder?
Yeah, of course. Can you hear me?
Thank you. I can now.
Okay, so I was saying, I've been checking the list of expenditures that a student need to pay in order to stay in Aberdeen. And one of those were the public transport. So I wanted to ask, due to Aberdeen, you know, it's not really a big city. Could you tell me if it's necessary to pay for that specific expenditure?
No, I don't have a bus pass. I normally walk. We have, the university has a scheme where you can take like a secondhand bicycle, and you pay a deposit, and when you return it at the end of the year, you get your deposit back. You can, if you need to use a bus, for some reason you're going somewhere further and you don't want to walk, you can pay just for an individual ticket. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, so Aberdeen is quite a inexpensive city to live. And as I said, most commutes take about 20 minutes walking. So it's not like there's a lot of walking to do.
Okay, Sandra, I think there's not another question for now. I have given everybody my email address in case they think of another doubt they have. So if there's nothing else, maybe we can end the presentation.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for being there and your interest in the University of Aberdeen. If you have further questions, we're happy to help. Either contact Debbie or myself, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. Thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure to talk to you today. So hopefully you found it interesting, and I answered a lot of your questions. But again, if there's anything I missed, please just speak to Debbie or myself, and we will get the answers for you.
Thank you, Sandra. Good night, and thank you everybody for joining the session. Please send me an email if you have any doubts or if you wish to apply.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna turn off now. So good night. Well, good night here. Probably there is still good afternoon. And see you soon. Bye.
Bye.